Good evening, everyone. This week we return to our trial. This is No Cure for the Paladin Blues, Part 8. And we're starting with Billy.
So, contention is that by eradicating this gate of Doricons, Evelyn inadvertently weakened the fabric of the universe that keeps this snarl safely trapped.
Correct.
And 5 gates we destroyed, you believe that would tear the prison apart, releasing the snarl to undo the world.
Correct again.
Then I just have one more question. Why, in the blasted infernal hells, did anyone instruct enchantment on the cursed thing? Now I fully admit that my knowledge regarding the nature of the world's construction is clearly not as far advanced as I would have hoped. I have to believe that if I ever found myself needing to build an artifact whose sole purpose was to reinforce the failing infrastructure of the universe, I would somehow see fit to not include a booby trap.
Yes, I had wondered that myself. Our gate here does not have one, but Mr. Scruffy believes that the Durkon must have feared that there might be something worse than the loss of one of the gates. It is possible that someone could learn to harness the power of the snarl, perhaps recently under more controlled circumstances with the proper magic. Mr. Scruffy further hypothesizes that the gates may actually enable such a plan by diffusing snarl's energy. If only one gate is destroyed, it could, in time, be rebuilt. But if that same gate were to be opened and the snarl controlled, it would mean a new age of darkness for the universe. Mr. Scruffy believes that this is why Duracon saw fit to include an easy way to destroy his gate, should it be threatened.
Roy, quick. When you knocked off Zycon, were there still any of his lieutenants that got away?
Sure, some goblin in a red cloak. I didn't catch his name, though.
Then that's our new defense. When Ellen blew up the gate, it wasn't just an accidental goof-up.
He was keeping the gate from falling into the wrong hands. Well, falling further into the wronger hands, I guess. Celia, that might just work. You don't think it's going to be a big problem that Ellen wasn't actually intending to keep the gate safe by destroying it?
Roy, Ellen didn't intend to weaken the fabric of the universe. It was an accident. But here you are, on trial. I say, if intent doesn't matter, let it not matter in our favor.
So now we're pleading not guilty by virtue of two wrongs make a right.
Hey, I don't make the crazy rules. I just twist them to my purpose.
You're going to do very well in your chosen field, Celia.
Further Ace Attorney court logic.
Meanwhile, in the Bugs Bunny portion of the strip.
Hoppity hop hop. Hoppity hop hop stumble. Hoppity hop hop slash. Hoppity slash dodge. Hoppity hoppity losing balance. Hoppity fall. Shiny will have a lot to do tonight, so
Yes.
Beanie, you do this.
Aww.
No. Actually, no. Panty.
I want panties. Yeah.
I don't know about your new recipe. It's not bad, but it's just missing the something. What do you call it?
Halfling drop soup.
Needs pepper.
And then the
Right.
goblins led us through the hills to the dungeon.
What was your purpose in that dungeon?
Well, we were there to beat Zycon a right nasty lick.
And when you say beat, what do you mean by that?
Well, to destroy him and to wreck whatever plans he'd be planning. Ah, I see where she's going. A classic unlikely hero's defense. We might have some success citing precedent. Get me the case files for Sauron versus Baggins, Tarkus versus Everman, and Riddle versus Board of Education.
How about Witch v Gale?
Yeah, okay. But east, not west.
Got it. Should we use the giant boot?
I'm not sure that. Wait, did you just say giant boot?
Sure. The comedically large boot. It never fails. It never fails at a trial.
Considering that your oversized footwear has no connection to any of the facts of this case, I think it's true.
Oh, come on. It's so distracting. Who could possibly form a defense against it? Look at me. I'm a big giant boot. Woo! Plus, you can use it in your closing argument. If the boot doesn't fit, you must acquit. I'm hilarious.
Putting aside for the moment that particular joke has been done to death, we're the prosecution, Phil. We don't want an acquittal.
Oh,
Now get out of that thing and help me get ready for cross-examination.
You could change it to, if the boot has been kicked, you must convict.
sweet. Thanks.
Ellen, what have I told you about assisting the enemy with their rhyming scheme?
If you help with their verse, you'll just make things worse.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that.
Paladin season, halfling season, Paladin season.
It's your move, Tom.
Oh, okay. Hiding in Lord Shoujo's garden this time, coward? Aha! I've got you this time, and just to be sure, detect evil. The lead sheet? Bah! It doesn't matter now. It didn't prevent me from finding you.
True. Luckily, it's a multi-purpose lid.
What possible other purpose could a big lead...
Bang.
Why?
Oh man, that was totally worth it. Lugging that thing around, small size penalties to carrying capacity or not. Now get up so I can. Huh? Crap. Now that's not going to be any fun, is it? Hey, Miko, you don't mind if I drink this potion of cure critical wounds I found on you that you were clearly saving, right? Hey, thanks.
Beat.
Bored. Hey, wake up, Snow White. It's me, the 8th dwarf, Stabby.
Oh,
Prince Charming ain't coming to get your fat ass up already. Prince Charming ain't coming. Get your fat ass up already.
that's funny. You may have stunned me momentarily, but I'll never die that easily.
Less talk, more standing up, please. See, this is more like it now.
What did you say?
I said I'm look forward to cutting out your pancreas, fascist pal.
This is a
Oh.
often.
I mean, I think Belcor has discovered he enjoys screwing with Miko more than he does murdering her, or he would have
Oh.
taken the chance when she was down.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
What?
this is a big one.
One last question. If you knew then what you knew now about the gate and what they do, would you have tried to prevent Ellen from touching the magic rune?
Well, no. Even though I scolded him for it at the time, I now fully believe that Zykon's minions were capable of carrying out his plans for the gate. As alien as it sounds to my ears, Ellen did the right thing, in my opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Greenhelt. Defense rests, Your Honor. Yay! You did really well, Roy.
I'm sure I would have done even better if somebody hadn't been whispering, testify, 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 testify on your own behalf the whole time.
Aw, Roy, you didn't even try to sing. Shh, both of you. Jones is starting his closing argument.
Oh boy, here we go. No singing, please.
Shiny,
oh.
we're going to murder you 2 nights in a row. I'm sorry.
A day where I hear Shiny speak 7 paragraphs is a good day.
Okay, I better get that started. There's only one fact that needs to be considered in this trial. Did the human known as Aaron destroy Durkan's gate, and did his allies aid him intentionally or not in doing so? The answer is simple. Yes, he did, and yes, they did. The defence will attempt to obfuscate the simplicity of this answer with a lot of talk about heroism and such, but this is a court of law, not a bardic poem. Whether or not it was ultimately beneficial, the law is clear. Weakening the fabric of the universe by destroying one of the gates is a crime in the eyes of the gods. Give the sapphire god their holy power. It is not the place for a mortal to supersede divine law and take matters into their own hands. The gods have wisdom and understanding beyond what you or I can possibly grasp, and if they didn't want the sapphire god to bring these perpetrators to justice, would they have revoked the divine powers granted to the resting officer? We can each interpret their will by observing that they have not yet seen fit to do so. For that matter, if Durkan's gate needed to be destroyed, as the defence will no doubt claim, could not the gods have done so themselves? The gods have spoken through their silence. The sapphire god is in the right, and the order of the stick is not. The gods you serve are lawful and good by their very definition. Their will can never be anything but lawful and good. Follow their guidance then, and convict the defendants. All we ask is that the law that exists be enforced. They did the crime, let them do the time. Thank you.
Fun fact, a lot of his argument can be taken from the Greek philosopher Diogenes. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but cool. If it was. Did my client activate the self-destruct rune on Durakan's gate? Yes. We have never disputed this fact, despite what the prosecution would have you believe. But would there be a self-destruct rune on the gate in the first place if there weren't circumstances that warranted its use? When Ellen destroyed the gate, he was doing the right thing, whether or not he knew it at the time, to keep it from being further exploited by Zykon's goblin henchmen. We live in a world of black and white morality. This is something we all know. But I ask you, whoever said that black is always wrong and white is always right? Our alignments are not rigid and unyielding codes of conduct. No, not even a lawful alignment. They are goals for ourselves, standards we hope to in our hearts that we can achieve. Failing them does not invalidate the choice we made to attempt to live within the bounds of that alignment. It just means we need to try that much harder next time. This court clearly operates under the lawful good point of view, but that doesn't mean that it is required to blindly label my client's chaotic act as a crime. You have an opportunity right here and right now to correct the mistake that was made in charging my clients. Lawful good does not mean a strict adherence to meaningless laws, even at the expense of safety. It acknowledges the possibility of bad laws. A lawful good authority such as the court needs to constantly evaluate whether or not a law supports the greater good. If it does not, then it should be stricken from the record or revised. I personally propose that any prohibition against destroying the gate is subservient to the greater good of the safety and well-being of the inhabitants of the universe. It's not going to make you any less lawful good to admit that the law, however well-intentioned, did not take all the impossibilities into account when it was handed down. Your alignment does not make you immune to mistakes, and making mistakes will not cause you to change alignments. The distinction between the intent and action is the foundation of law. The criteria for punishment is not what you were thinking, but what actions you took. And Alan took a heroic and desperately needed action when he destroyed that gate, despite having absolutely no capacity to understand that fact. Yes, he weakened the fabric of the universe, and if he hadn't, we might all be speaking goblin now. Or worse, the universe might have come to an end altogether. There are people who claim that alignments are archaic and limiting, that they restrict possible personalities and lead to inherently unsolvable conflicts. Please prove them wrong. Prove that even in a system of objective good and evil, there is still room for nuance and exception. Prove that lawful can sometimes be wrong for all the right reasons, A chaotic can be right for all the wrong reasons. Prove to me that the alignment system works and find my clients not guilty. Amazing! Didn't you think Ciela did a good job?
Yeah, thank you.
Meh. Under argument a bit far too brief for my taste.
I murdered both me and Shiny in this strip.
We wait for
These like not long enough.
So, great job, Celia. I think you nailed it.
Thanks. I just hope it's enough.
Well, if it's not, you should know that I really appreciate all you've done for us here. We wouldn't have had a chance without you.
Thanks, Roy. That means a lot to me. Wow, they both made such persuasive arguments. It's gonna be tough to decide who to vote for.
Who to vote for? Ellen? This is a criminal court, not American Idol. 2006, everyone. We're the ones on trial here. We don't get to.
Hey, Roy? What's America?
what's an idol?
Oh, no, they know what idols are. Those are the kind of stuff that shows up in D&D campaigns all the time.
Ellen, can I please get to my next line?
Yes.
You know what? You know what? You're absolutely right. It is going to be tough to decide who to vote for. That's why you should think very carefully and then write your vote down on a piece of paper, which you should then give to the white cat.
Yay! I'm a part of the democratic process.
Democrat.
What? Don't give me that look. You're the one who started the whole let's not tell Ellen uncomfortable truths thing. I just can't bear to tell him that he has no power to decide his own fate now.
Oh, mighty being of pure law and good, you have heard the arguments of both sides of the case. Are you prepared to render your verdict?
Here you go. Tom? Tom?
Hello?
Mr.
Hello?
Scruffy, yes, we can hear you. Mr. Scruffy has a line.
The cat.
I did meow.
No one heard it.
We want to hear you meow one more time.
Meow.
Okay.
There we go. That's what I like to fucking hear.
On behalf of the upper planes and the cosmic good, I find the order of the stick to be.
Aw, man, I hate weekend cliffhangers.
Well, if you hadn't decided to speak in the last panel, we'd have already known by now.
That's well breaking.
Okay, Haley has quite a lot to say on this page, so I'm gonna look for a screenshot for this.
The good thing is I have the thingy-majig.
Oh, you have the script ready for yourself? All right, good.
Yes.
Okay.
Posted it regardless.
Not guilty.
Well, guys, it's been an honor to work with you, and I guess I may see some of you in whatever afterlife. Wait, did he say not guilty?
Hooray! Billy?
Outstanding. Outstanding. I didn't hear Tom speak. That's all. Virtue of it having been strictly necessary at the time, the order of the stick is hereby cleared of all charges.
Huh. Go figure. I've pretty much given up on there being any justice at this farce of a trial, but I guess I was being too cynical.
This Victor not too shift. This Victor
Wee! I've won my first case!
Pacific is the end. The parts playable. It perfect suffix of guitar to X5
Thank you, being of pure law and good, for your service in this matter. Hinju, please retrieve the order of the Styx weapons. They are free to go.
Beanie?
Sorry, give me a sec. I'm lagging.
Well, okay.
Right, where are we?
Middle of strip 284 on the left.
Middle of Hojo?
Yes, Lord Jojo, that's your line, yes.
Yes, Lord Sojo.
And Hinya, why do I have a piece of paper on my lap that says meow?
I didn't know Mr. Scruffy could read common.
I'm gonna make a radical suggestion here and propose we leave this awful place and never return.
Billy?
I second your motion. I second your motion.
He'll because so
Haley, are you okay there?
Bin so because well wir nicht so super clipped because look guitar with a bev be lift be liquid pug she says pug glue super glue appellants with hills guitar
I guess you're upset? Did you vote for the other guy?
Well, because of yes, you are.
It's tough to tell if you're mad at me. I mean, you look bad, but looks can be deceiving.
Mr. Greenhilt, Mr. Scruffy would like to have a word with you before you leave.
Yeah, well, Mr. Scruffy can shove it up his fuzzy lil.
I understand, though. I'm kind of bummed out, too. All that time spent on the trial, and what a letdown. I mean, they call that a climax. Not guilty. Thanks. Now leave. That's not a climax. Crash!
Time to die, evildoer.
Now see that? That's a climax.
Sorry to cut. I just went on the webpage that has the cipher, right? I
Uh-huh.
went to go see how far this went. It's until page 400.
Jesus.
Hey,
To be fair, though, I will say that
we have at least 100 pages of this left to fucking go.
At least the arc right before she gets this fixed we get to hear Haley's internal monologue, so we don't get stuck with purely gibberish Haley.
Hey, can we not do that anymore? Thanks.
Can All right, let's do with what I originally wanted to do. Just say what she's actually saying.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to pronounce.
Okay.
All right, so my turn.
Yeah, you're think whispering it, I guess.
Come on, do it.
Billy?
Searching around. I said,
Over here.
a horrible, loathsome, supremely selfish creature who behaves contemptibly, laughs at the pain of others, has no manners whatever, and whose mental acuity would be compared unfavorably to that of a table. And yet, I find I still prefer him to you.
Tom goes first, and that's the next line is Penty.
You're not interfering that which is not your concern, Elf.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm pretty sure it is my concern. I'm his leader. You want him? You'll have to go through me.
You call yourself lawful good, and yet you defend him.
Not everything is about good and evil, Miko. In this case, it's about loyalty. I learned in fire college that a good commander doesn't abandon one of his people in the face of the enemy. And Belkar is one of my people. He's had numerous opportunities to turn on us in battle and has never done so. Despite the fact that if he had sided with our foes, he could have probably beaten us and then lured our corpses for our magic items.
Beanie?
Oh, sorry. That's a good idea.
You're not helping. Is it, Miko? Belkar is a member of the Order of the Stick, and you are not, and never will be.
Yeah, you big meanie.
You can't
Okay.
understand me, so let me just say that you're a frigid.
I bet you wish
bitch.
you were. I bet you wish you were doing the gibberish right now.
The one line.
Hey, so could you be?
Just-
I said bitch.
Did you?
Frigid bitch. Yeah, bitch. I'll say it 2 more times. Bitch.
And your thighs look fat in that armor.
Damn, she said it.
That's supposed to be an insult?
I don't know if you're in character
Don't let
right
the
now.
trouser tighten roll your thoughts.
I don't know if you're in character right now as Roy. But if you're not, you just exposed a lot about yourself, man. Just didn't say.
And you, Durgon, do you stand against me as now as well?
No, unless you force me to. Think this can't be what forewarranted. Let for be no more death today.
Very well. If enemies wish to be, then I shall simply have to crush you all a third time before exacting justice on the halfling. Make peace with your guards, northerners.
Stop!
Okay.
Miko Miyazaki. The orders I gave you were to deliver this halfling to my entrance chamber. You have now done so successfully despite great difficulty. For this I commend your effort. I now request that you retire to your quarters and await further orders.
Master, the halfling killed one of our guards in cold blood. He must be punished.
Then he will be taken into custody and tried roughly on those charges.
As you command, Master. You are my rightful liege. I obey your wishes, for I am a paladin. Whether any of you like it or not. But Mark my words, this act of defiance has sealed your fate. You will suffer a great loss for choosing evil over good. This I swear. Holy justice will be served in due time. I only pray that the 12 gods allow it to be my hand that strikes the final blow, so that I might feel your warm, sin-stained blood spilled rightfully on the cold, hard ground.
Whew. And I thought here she was gonna be accept.
Huh?
Phew. And here I thought she was going to be upset.
Hey V, before they bring me back to jail, I just wanted.
There is no need.
Huh?
I know that neither of us excels at social situations, so suffice it to say that I accept your thanks for saving you from Miko.
My thanks? Are you kidding me? You ruined everything. All that work to push her over the edge, and you interrupted right before she finally snaps. I guess I can always start over, but so much work was wasted.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but I thought she was going to kill you.
No one pays you to think, Ears.
They actually pay me to do nothing but think, you moron.
Look, last time I checked, her spell list, Raise Dead was a 5th level spell. Darkon can cast it like 3 to 4 times a day. And he'd do it too, because he's a sucker. I mean, he just healed me up for free. But losing your paladinhood through your own willful actions? Do you have any idea how hard it is to reverse? Goodbye, Miko the Paladin. Hello, Miko the Fighter without bonus feet. It would have been hilarious.
I see. And how would your cunning master plan have accounted for the fact that Durkon would have required 5,000 GP worth of diamonds as a material component to power the Raise Dead spell? Diamonds, I hasten to add, that he does not, in fact, possess.
Well, obviously I would have...
Beat.
Shut up.
I think I may owe the tables of the world an apology.
And like, would have Miko actually fallen for killing a murderer? I really don't think so. It's not even that she believes he's a murderer. She outright knows it.
Belka really didn't think up food, did he?
No. No.
Hey, Sweet Wings. So what time are you coming down to discuss my defense strategy?
I'm not sure. I'll surprise you.
Oh, you'll surprise me, alright.
The surprise being, of course, that I'm not going to be defending him.
So, does that mean you're heading back to school right away?
I'm in no rush. Class doesn't resume until next week.
I'm sorry you lost the case, Mr. Jones.
Actually, I'm fairly certain that the transcript will show that Phil Rodriguez was the lawyer of record for this trial.
Oh, man. That means my record will fall to 0 and 147.
Naturally, I remain perfect at 5-0.
See, I knew everything would work out okay.
Okay, I do not see how being made to stand trial for a capital crime ever constitutes okay.
Yeah, but the point is that the legal system worked. You were acquitted of all charges.
Wow, Hinjo, you should work for the tourism board. Come to sunny Azure City. You'll be found innocent eventually.
Hey, don't blame the whole city for what the Sapphire Guard did to you. Most people who live here don't even know we exist. Which, incidentally, makes it awfully difficult to redeem these Sapphire Guard discount coupons my uncle keeps giving us. But anyway, look, I know a great inn away from the castle. Let me pay for your room tonight, and tomorrow I'll show you around the city.
I don't know.
Please, Roy, can we please, please?
Okay, you can go with Hinjo.
Woo! We're going to see the city. We're going to see the city. I want to see the sailboats. Can I see the sailboats? Ooh, I want to see the gardens and the stores and the big festival decoration things. And do you guys have a theater? I want to see a theater too. And
Do you think I can have a lollipop, maybe?
do you think I could have a lollipop, maybe?
I consider this my token revenge for our incarceration.
Why do I have to suffer for something I didn't even fucking do? I'm just the messenger.
I'm unsure who's speaking.
I think that's
It's
shiny.
shiny.
Yeah.
It's shiny.
That's Jojo, yeah.
Mr. Greenhead, I'd like to.
What the? Haley, get out of my way.
Expeditious retreat.
They wasted a spell slot just to get out of here faster. That's a power move.
Haley, seriously, don't make me bull rush you here. I'm not in the mood and I can't really remember the rules. Unfortunately, I can't. What's that, Lassie? Timmy's trapped down a well? Okay, so you're pointing at the moron with the cat. And now you're pointing at your hair? Shoujo's hair? No, your head? Shoujo's head? Shoujo's liver spots? Shoujo's brain? Brain? Shoujo's brain! Okay, next word is fat. Shoujo is a fat head. No, round. Big. Big. Okay. Hey, this is kind of fun. Okay, so Shoujo brain big. What's next? Eyes? No. 2. Sight? Gaze? Gaze attack. Shoujo has a gaze attack that causes encephalitis.
Inflammation of the brain, by the way.
That sounds like a horrifying attack, to be honest.
Sounds like something a Beyonder would cook up.
Yeah.
What?
Beholder, not Beyonder.
What? It was a reasonable guess. Okay, fine. Eyeballs, glands, look. Look, that's it. Look. Shoujo big brain look. Shoujo big brain look. Shoujo big brain look. Shoujo big brain. Shoujo is smarter than he looks.
I'm glad you figured that out before I'd advanced another age category, Mr. Greenhouse. Your second in command, despite apparently not speaking common, is as astute as he is lovely. I'm afraid I have been pulling the proverbial wool over your eyes.
I think Penty's line is first.
When did he become sane?
Why don't we speak on the balcony? I find my legs get so tired these days from sitting on that phone for hours. Also, we can finally turn the spotlights off. I apologise for the Mr. Scruff deception. You see, while you have seen only clerics and paladins, I can assure you that Azure City has a very active noble class, any number of whom might feel they could profit from my demise. A few years ago, I narrowly escaped an assassination attempt, one that resulted from an unpopular edict I had issued.
This is what we think of Meatloaf Day!
Ever since that day, I have found it easier to let them believe that I am senile in these respects. When I will in their favour, they assume that they control me. When I will against them, they assume that one of their rival nobles controls me. I can make decisions I feel are necessary without worrying about being killed over them.
And no one knows?
No one.
Why are you telling me this then?
Because I'm going to kill you. Nah, I'm just kidding. Because I have some things to say to you and some things to ask you, and I want you to take me seriously.
Well, I'm the one who's got a weapon on me right here, so don't try it, Buster.
Also, you're
Well-
an NPC class.
Well, gosh, letting me know that you're apparently a very, very skilled liar is definitely a step in the right direction. Doesn't seem very paladinish of you either.
Mr. Greenhilt, I am the commander of the Paladins of the Sapphire Guard by virtue of my inheritance, not merit. In other words, I command the Paladins. I have never claimed to be one.
Wait, you're not a paladin?
Technically, I'm a 14th level aristocrat. Heck, I'm not even lawful.
You're 14th level? So you're telling me this whole time, this whole trial, I've been fooled? I've been fooled by someone with
By someone with an NPC class, I'm afraid so.
I feel dirty inside. So even the paladins don't know about your ruse.
No, it allows me to occasionally engage in behaviour that might not tolerate in a leash. It worked until, well, actually right until Durkan's gate was destroyed. I knew nothing of this lick of yours, but when my diviners told me of the explosion, I feared for the integrity of the Snow's prison. With 2 of the gates gone, I felt.
Hold on. 2? What happened to the other?
Lillian's gate was destroyed in a fire many years ago, and she vanished. I sent paladins, but they found nothing conclusive.
So, got ranks in search? Okay, this guy I think is important, and I think Penty should get this.
No, you?
No,
Darn.
goblin footprints, piece of red cloak.
I wonder
This
who
was
clicked on
mentioned.
that.
This was mentioned by Zycon earlier.
Continuity.
Anyway, with 2 gates lost, I felt that the safety of the remaining gates was in jeopardy, but that left me with a conundrum. The only servants in my employ that I could trust of the locations of the gates of Girard and Caragor were my paladins, but each and every paladin has sworn an oath to never interfere with these same gates. I too swore the oath when I assumed command of the Sapphire Guard. I feel it is foolish to risk universal destruction for a promise to people I've never met. The Paladins feel differently. Without concrete evidence of a threat to all of the gates, they wouldn't consider checking on the other 2. What I needed was someone who could go out, look in on the other gates and report back to me. I couldn't send anyone in the Sapphire Guard or even let them know I was doing it.
I fail to see what this has to do with me. Or, rather, I am beginning to see, but I'm hoping I'm totally wrong.
You might want to begin to prepare yourself for disappointment, Mr. Greenhilt.
Crap.
When I learned about your party of adventurers, I saw an opportunity. Your group already knew about the gates. Also, I assumed that the timing was not hampered by Mopsun's oath. You were exactly what I needed. I sent my most powerful paladin to the north to correct you. I couldn't tell her why I had to speak to you though, so I invoked criminal charges. I knew that you were innocent of any true wrongdoing, even if you were technically guilty of weakening the fabric of the universe. But the charges would get you down here so we could talk. I believe that I could give you a trial that would appear legitimate to the paladins, even if I had to manipulate the outcome.
Wait, right there. You knew that the whole thing was an accident, and you sent that bitch to drag us back here in chains?
Yes, but I believe it to be for the greater good. The greater good. Miko just has a tendency to be a bit overzealous in bringing criminals to justice. Actually, Mr. Scruffy says that you should try
Miko speaks.
Oh,
The
sorry.
first line first, then
Because
Jojo.
the
My blades will be back. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna do that again. My blades will be bathed in the blood of those responsible.
Actually, Mr. Scruffy says that you should try hard to bring them back alive for trial.
As your cat wishes, master, if it is possible.
So everything we've been through, being captured, abused, imprisoned, tried, was also you could offer me a job without your paladin buddies knowing?
I suppose yes.
So what? Placing a classified ad didn't have the right undertone of personal volition violation for you? I'm sure this whole snarl thing completely justifies what you did to us, at least in your mind. But I can't see any reason why I would ever want to work for you. Assuming I had any reason to think this wasn't just another lie. There's no reason to believe a thing you say. As someone once said to me, I don't trust you enough to believe you lied. For example, you just told me you didn't learn any information on who burned down Lyrian's gate. But you now claim to have known about us before you unleashed Miko. So which one is the lie?
A very good question. The gods smiled on me the day your bard blew up Durkan's gate. They sent me a being from the upper planes who told me everything I needed to know about you and your party. He has continued to advise me ever since.
All right, Billy.
What? Patrick Swayze?
Can you sound a bit older and more cantankerous?
Sure. I'll reopen the tab and try that again. Sorry. You were maybe expecting Patrick Swayze?
Okay. Well, it's a work in progress.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Sorry. The lines got me just glancing at them. Of course, I'm pretty good at that dirty dancing, so I can see how you could be confused.
Dad?
Someone give Tom her lines.
No, I have it. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just eating sugar. But, yeah. I thought you said your dad was dead?
You were the being of pure law and good all along? How?
God's boys, being dulled your wits so much that you forget specialty illusions. I'll have you know that I was named Best Illusionist of the Year 3 times by the Wizzy Awards by the time I was your age.
Gee, Dad, I had no idea. It's not like the trophies were enshrined in our front hallway or anything.
You should have seen your face when you heard the big red angel voice. Oh mercy, kill, kill. Priceless.
It's reassuring to know that you haven't decided to spontaneously start taking my feelings into account during your absence.
Oh, relax. I was just having some fun with you. Look, I didn't want to drag this shoujo guy into our family business. I had better things to do. Like Violet, for example.
Dad!
But you didn't give me much choice. Maybe if you took the time to fix what you'd broken, I wouldn't have need to.
I was doing an entire side quest about that. Huh?
The sword, Roy, the sword. You know, our family heirloom. What, you think I can just pop in and talk to anyone? What kind of afterlife do you think they're running here?
As I said, I was doing the side quest for that already. But Dad, just slow down and explain exactly what you're saying.
I weep for your dying gray matter. Okay, here it goes. The green hilt sword, the symbol of our family, sword you are carrying right now, is the metaphysical link that allows me to appear to you in spectral form. Once it was broken, I couldn't manifest freely anymore, and was bound by all the normal rules for dead spirits.
So that's why you haven't shown up for all these months.
Yes, of course.
I see. And this isn't like that time you missed my 7th grade school play.
I told you I was on the astral plane on business. Let it drop.
You know, I'm actually surprised I'm a bit of a theater kid. Anyway, that still doesn't explain how you got mixed up with shoujo.
Don't get your codpiece in a knot. I'm not done yet. I tried to appear to you after you blew up the castle, but with the sword broken, I was out of luck. You couldn't see or hear me. Anyone calling for a cleric? I did, however, spot a scrying sensor that was examining the wreckage, and was able to trace it back to the diviners of Azure City. Detect scrying. Moments later, I sensed shoujo clerics attempting to summon a celestial to dispense advice, and so I hightailed it back to the upper planes and intervened. Nothing personal, Tony. Shoujo and I consulted, and we hatched a plan to get you down here to the south so we can both talk to you without tipping off those pesky paladins.
Deal?
I can't shake hands. I'm incorporeal. I've been stuck here ever since. Unfortunately, I can't leave the circle. And if I return to upper planes, I'm pretty sure they won't let me respond to any more summoning spells for a while.
Wow, so you went through all that trouble just so you could talk to me and congratulate me on defeating Psychon and fulfilling your oath? You really do care.
Congratulate? I'm not here to congratulate you, you numbskull. You screwed up. Not that I should have ever expected differently from a fighter.
Excuse me?
Zycon is alive.
What?
Well, I don't mean actually alive. Technically, he's still dead, just not dead. He's undead, right? So he's up and moving around. Even though he's still signs negative, it's not like he just spontaneously came back to life. I mean, he did come back spontaneously, but back to undeath, I suppose.
Just curious, did you get XP for killing this dramatic moment?
Okay, this next one's gonna be the last trip for tonight.
Zycon is alive?
Well, technically.
Don't. How is that possible?
He's got a thingamajobber that holds his soul in place when his body gets destroyed. After it grows him a new one to inhabit. I saw his lackeys escape, so the smart money says he's back by now. The deal I made with Shoto was if he got you down here, I'd get you to work for him. This gift of his is the perfect way to find that miserable button and destroy him. Only, for real this time.
Yeah, well, I think there might be a flaw in your plan, Dad, because screw you.
What?
I would love to say that I couldn't believe that my own father would mess with my life like this to the point of getting me imprisoned and nearly killed, but I know better. You're exactly selfish enough to do this to your own son, just to quench your own thirst for vengeance. You can't even pretend you did all this for the greater good, because you didn't even know about the gates until Shoujo told you.
No, wait, just,
Zip it. Everything about this is disaster written all over it. Shoujo can't be trusted. You certainly can't be trusted. This whole job offer stinks worse than an otaig covered in sauerkraut on a hot day. And yet, I'm going to accept it anyway. As much as I loathe how you've manipulated me and my friends, Zycon is an actual threat. I'm not going to let him sit and get away with whatever he's got planned just because my father happens to be a self-absorbed, arrogant jerk. There are too many lives at stake. I just want you personally to know, if it weren't for the threat to the entire world, I would tell you to shove your blood oath against Psychon up your wrinkled, incorporeal ass.
Do a raspberry, Tom. Okay. I think that's a perfect place to end for tonight anyway. All right.
hopefully I'll get better at the Eugene voice.
Honestly, that's a very solid voice so far. You can
Good
definitely
night.
tell it's different from